Hey, hey, don't miss the play. Flurry Sports will save your day. Cracking jokes with sports insight. Zach and Jake, they get it right. Fuck yeah.
Jake, what's the Titans head coach's name?
No. Don't test me on this right away. Okay, this is tough because it's not Mike Vrabel.
No more Vrabel.
But it is the guy who came right after him, right? He's been there for like 2 years now.
Yep, 100%. Son of a legend on the staff. His dad's on the like an assistant coach. Yeah.
Is it Turner?
Not Turner. Yeah, not Norv's son. No.
Is that bad that you said legend? My brain was like, does Norv have a kid?
Legend, who I don't think has ever been a head coach to my knowledge.
I don't think I'm going to think of him then. Tell me his name.
Brian Callahan.
Yeah. Yep.
I bring him up. First off, I like Brian Callahan. I like what he's about. I love that every press conference is extremely pissed off. He's never been happy in his life. His dad, Joe Callahan's
best.
He's Badger legend. I bring him up. I think he's going to be the first head coach fired. We've been all wrapped up with Mike McDaniel.
Really? You think he's out?
I think so. He's been right in front of our face the whole time. And the reason is because they had the first overall pick. We should have seen that. If you're not a first-year head coach, you got the first overall pick, who's a quarterback, and he doesn't pan out, you're gone. And I think, and because this week, we're going to talk about week 4. This is the first week he's already given up play calling. And they were just as bad, but they're going to do something there. I think he might be the first head coach out. So we're going to get into a little bit of betting stuff in a second with baseball. You're going to give us stuff. But if there's still odds out there for first head coach fired, I don't know. It might not be Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel still has to go tonight. He may fire himself tonight, but it could be the Titans too.
I came in with a different name who was going to be the first head coach fired as well.
Oh, is it LaFleur?
It is not, dude. Ties aren't losses, no matter what the internet says, okay? Ties a tie.
I've never seen it's the best. I hate ties as well. The stream has something to do with that as well. LaFleur's lost in some terrible ways, and no one's been this out on him, and it was a tie. Everyone's more pissed off about a tie, and same here. I'm not saying I'm alone in not being that.
Agreed. To be sincere, awful game. We're finding terrible ways to not win football games.
They had to try not to win, and they almost succeeded.
We put it all together, too. Like last week, somehow, offense, incapable. This week, Josh Jacobs is a Hall of Famer and can't win. Absolutely can't win. Only thing I'll say about that, too. Jerry knew that. By the way, Dak, what a little bitch.
I mean, agreed. Any reason? I agree, though.
Did you see his post-game press conference where he was like, don't give Micah the sack?
Oh, I did. It's not a sack. That's a stupid rule.
Take it. Who's cared about it until now? I just didn't like that he was like, no one's ever been like, don't give me that sack. Afterwards, he's like, oh, only the haters will say it's a sack. No, take it like a man. If you didn't care about it, then you wouldn't care about it. But you can't. I think we should ask
Jerry. Jerry said he's never wrong with numbers. Let him know. Let's see how many sacks he thinks Micah had.
By the way, Jerry Jones, only one who spoke in the pregame intro that was about Micah Parsons.
I mean, he was questioned about it, but fair.
I know, but Micah didn't say anything. Like, they didn't ask Micah. They didn't ask anyone in Green Bay. It's just like, Jerry, you're gonna take us in. I liked what he said. He said all the right stuff.
Yeah, that I'm never wrong. I've never been wrong with numbers. Why would I want one player when I can have 6? Jerry played the greatest hits, and I agreed with every single one, by the way. I think he's right. And then after the game, he got to do his little press conference like usual. And he's like, they got Micah, we got what we got, and we tied. And he's fully right, by the way. Like 100%. Because he got 2 first-round draft picks. He might draft 2 Micah Parsons.
I mean, he is correct. It's a funny thing to be like, we've fully drafted futures. Like, he's never going to wear this L, though. There's no way for him to lose, which is a well-designed ploy by him. But I don't know what I was going to say. He made me angry. But Dak Prescott got him, I guess. Oh, the coach who's also going to be fired first. Any guesses? Who I think will be fired before
Who you
Mike
think
McDaniel?
it is?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I think it's one of the two. Who is
John
it?
Harbaugh.
Oh, I don't think so.
Disaster in
Ravens
Baltimore,
fans,
dude.
It's fair. Those injuries are insane, though. I mean, he'll get fired if it does turn out that Lamar Jackson's faking an injury like everybody thinks he is.
That's crazy. That's insane. But the vibes are bad. We're not teaching folks to hold the ball. You know,
That's true. No coach has ever screwed up Derrick Henry before until John Harbaugh. So
we're
enough.
screwing up a perfect team, and that must be how the cat. Hey, I don't make the rules. The Twins fired Rocco Baldelli today. What the hell was he supposed to do? You know,
fair. But if they fire John Harbaugh, that's not good because he's going to go join his brother, and then they're going to have a super Harbaugh team. That's not
I don't
fun.
think you thought this through, though. New head coach Wink Martindale.
That would be incredible.
Rex. He keeps talking about how he was in Baltimore.
Rex and Wink and Gruden. Let's just form a super team. Fuck it. That'd be incredible.
Listen, he's only the first head coach fired if everyone decides to really hold off. But
how do you feel about this? Comment.
Hey, Trevor. Fair.
I thought you were gonna go in. I was leading it.
I was gonna tell him to F off. Let me recenter. Hey, Trevor, fuck you, dude. No way.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, here we are. It was a good metaphor. I feel good about it. I stand by it.
Okay, I mean, let's just transition it because baseball playoffs are apparently going to still happen. Who knew? Don't know
tomorrow.
Anything. They do. Okay, great. I already have some bets in that I placed before the season, and I feel good about them. But Jake has been watching baseball. He knows what's going on, and he has some other bets for us to play. So this is what we're going to do. It is baseball season technically still. I don't know, but it's NFL season. So I'm going to set a timer, Jake, for 10 minutes. And when the timer goes off,
we got to get out of here.
I mean, by the way, last week I did play a thing about a nuclear bomb and positive reviews from everybody. Absolutely nobody hated that. Nobody thought that was bad. So maybe it'll come back. Who knew? If you were upset by that, grow up. Like, one, grow up. Two, do you think they're announcing a nuclear attack on the Flurry Sports podcast stream? Thank you for that, but I don't think so.
You did that. Gotta be honest.
Everyone's just like, why did you do that? Like, I was scared. I'm like, do you think that's happening? One, and two, did you have another screen on? And you thought, no. They need to talk through these guys right now because everyone's watching the Flurry Sports podcast. Let's make the announcement here.
That's so true. Or like we're on the network. Like it's like that would work somehow. Like all of Twitch is
everyone turned into the biggest boomer of all time where it's like they took over our screens. Every screen turned to that. Like that's not how the internet works. Relax. Take a breather. You're dumb. It's fine. We have a growing experience.
Also, I would say this is my real thing to folks. Okay. You made it. You're good. Zach wanted to get you and he got you. You want Zach to not do something again? Never mention it.
I got too many people though.
People, hey, can I throw something out there?
Sure.
All engagement's good.
No, I'm not upset by it. I'm just like, oh my God. It's the first time I looked at my audience here. I'm like, I'm a little nervous. I understand. Usually it's like a reflection of like who the people are. And all of a sudden everyone got. That's not my audience.
We might have to do it more often. Train them in.
I guess it's going to be Pavlov. Whatever we do it, we're going to give you a little treat. And then all of a sudden, nuclear bombs coming, and you are going to be the ones on the front line, ready to eat.
That's exactly the opposite of how psychology works. We're literally boy who cried whooping them. They're not going to be more prepared.
They're not going to be prepared for the actual event, but they're going to be prepared. They're not going to run away. They're going to be
on the chin.
Yeah, that's true. Something's going to happen. Natural disaster will strike, and they will turn to us. And that's kind of what we want, you know? We need
like that.
There's leaders, there's followers. We're just preconditioning them to be the followers. That's how cults work. We're building it.
Speaking of cults, should we talk about baseball, dude?
Let's do it. So you got 10 minutes on the clock. So there's going to be some bets. There's going to be some things happening in the baseball postseason. I have no idea who's in other than the Brewers, and I assume the Dodgers. Literally nothing else I know.
Nice.
So you got 10 minutes to explore the space, talk about baseball. You can riff and just tell us some bets. Tell us how to make money on baseball starting now.
Well, this is the audience, folks. All right. I'm assuming we're clipped in. So welcome to the clip. We're timed up. All right. I got 10 minutes baseball talk. My goal today, win you some money on baseball. I watch baseball, so you don't have to. So here's the deal. We're into the playoffs. Welcome. We've just played 162 games for each team to make it here. Your teams, 12 teams in the playoffs, Zach. Okay. Count them. I'm going to do this off the dome. On the AL side, 6 teams. That being the NL East champion Blue Jays, the AL champion Guardians, the AL West champion Seattle Mariners, and then your 3 wild card teams, which are the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, both joining the Blue Jays in the East, and then the Detroit Tigers, also coming out of the Central.
I would have guessed maybe one of those teams are in the playoffs.
Yeah. Wild. Right. By the way, Tigers choked up a 21.5 game lead on the last day so that the Guardians won the division. Now they go to Cleveland for the playoffs. That's my favorite storyline, by the way.
Got to right where they want it.
Got it. Yeah. You got to win the games, dude. Every game counts. On the NL side, you've nailed the big ones. Dodgers won the West. Brewers won the Central. Best team in baseball overall, the Brewers.
For now.
For now. We'll find out. That's why we played the games. Phillies in the East. So I think those are 3 big names. Joining them, big name Padres.
Okay.
And then it is the Cubs are the second team out of the NL Central. And then the third team out of the NL Central, catching the Mets on the last day. No Mets at all in the playoffs, Zach. It is instead the Cincinnati Reds.
That's shocking. Okay.
Yeah. And shocking to baseball fans. Wasn't supposed to happen. No. Shocking to the Mets, who spent more money than most of the league's budget on Juan Soto alone. Didn't make the playoffs.
That's tough. It makes you think a couple times before writing a $500 million check, I bet.
I think so, especially one that lasts for 14 years. So, or you could be like Shohei's, put him on a payment plan for 35. But Zach, that is our playoff picture. The wild card, 2 teams from each league are on bye, so 4 of those teams are playing each other. The lowest division winner, and then the 3 wild card teams are all playing. So the top 2 in each division. In the AL, that's the Blue Jays and the Mariners. In the NL, that's the Brewers and the Phillies. They have byes. So,
is this considered the wild card round?
This is the wild card.
Fuck. Okay. So I did bet the Brewers to lose in wild card and to lose in the next round. I bet 2 of them. So one already is eliminated. So now I need them to lose their first series.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's that work? Yeah, they got to bye. Sorry, dude. Bad news off the bat.
That's fine. Got them right where we want them. They're going to lose.
So first, I have some general tips for folks. Okay. So yes, note about format. If you want to get involved in the playoff structure, this wild card round, best of 3 series, all played in one location. So
really? Is that new?
Recent to like the last
wait, like all in the home team's location, or they're all coming together? Like style?
Home team's location. They're not all Thunderdome. It's pandemic. No, so all the home team's location. So for example, huge deal that the Guardians passed the Tigers because now they host all 3 games in Cleveland as needed. So best of 3, then best of 5 against the teams with the byes. Those are set. So we already know. You can check out the bracket online who these teams would play in the second round. And then best of 5 in the divisional series. Then there's a best of 7 championship series for each league, and then the World Series. So, Zach, that's the general layout. Here's tips for betting, what you need to know to make money, okay?
Okay.
Since they've moved to this format, they have had 12, officially, they've had 12 of these series, 10 of which have been won by the team who wins game 1.
That seems like a flaw. Okay.
It is. There are a couple flaws to this. 3 games, they should just do one. And I think that's what they're going to revert back to after this new CBA, because it has to be 1 or 5. 3 isn't enough for anyone to adjust.
True.
Slash, like, to win, whatever goes right for you in game 1, the odds you get it again in game 3, pretty high. So, yeah, anyway, that's a good bet. So as you're making bets, I would not bet too many like hedge bets of like, oh, I think one team's going to win game 1, but maybe not the series. It's not the way these go. If you think a team's going to win game 1, that should 100% be your bet for the series, just up by odds. Also, Zach, if you're a hungry bettor like yourself, someone looks really good in game 1 of these series, hammer game 2. These are not most of these get wrapped up in 2 game sets. So those are the percentages, but that's how that typically works. Another thing that happens, Zach, is that unlike other playoff formats, teams with a bye in this baseball setup are often not favored. About 50%. It's actually slightly higher than that. 50% of the high seeds will lose in the second round since they've gone to this system. It was a lot higher than last year. A lot of the favorites won a year ago, but before that, it was like 2/3 of underdogs won on the divisional game weekend. So that's good for your Brewers bet. The odds say
so who do the Brewers play? Like, what is going to be one of which teams?
Yes, the Brewers are going to play. I'm pulling that up right now, the playoff bracket. The Brewers.
We can do that after if you want, because you have 4 minutes left, and then we got to get out of this.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm speeding up. That's good to know. The Brewers are playing the winner of the Cubs and the Padres. Cubs are going to beat them. Yeah, there you go. Good to know. So that's what's happening there. So I would also say pick the teams that look the best out of round 1. No matter who they're going against, you'll have pretty good odds for round 2 because they might not be favored, but the odds are 50% the underdogs are going to win. So I can get more into that if I had more than 10 minutes. Maybe I will someday. But for now, that's what you get. So now we get into specific bets, Zach. Okay, so for this first round, specific bets that I like for the series. Let me find this here. Well, first of all, a reminder overall that repeat winners for World Series, very unlikely in baseball. We haven't had a repeat winner since 2000. So the Dodgers would be climbing a tall hill to do that, but it's just not as likely as it is in other places. So that is a good thing to know there. Otherwise, for winning this first set of series winners I like. I was like, where are the bets? Okay, here they are. Series winners I like, okay? Yankees. I like them. I think they're probably my favorite to win the AL just overall. If I'm not thinking about World Series, just like getting there. I think Yankees over Red Sox is one I really like. This is my one bet to you, Zach. The odds on Cleveland right now, you can get really good odds for Cleveland just because they made this huge comeback. Detroit's shin their pants. Cleveland's playing out of their mind. I would bet Cleveland to win. I think that's a good one. Padres to upset the Cubs. They're healthier. They've been in a tougher division. That would be my pick there. I think most folks agree they're the better team. That's a coin flip, so I don't love it as much as the other two, but I still would nudge towards the Padres. And then not who I think is going to win the series, but if you are choosing to bet on the Reds-Dodgers series, I would bet Reds. Right now, you can get some Reds odds for plus 243. The Reds are hot coming into the playoffs, and they have, in most people's opinion, 2 of the best starting pitchers, period. So I think it's really likely they could win game 1, and as I just showed earlier, that means they've got a good chance to win the series. So not that I think that's the likely outcome, but that's the best odds you're going to get for a fun bet.
Sure.
So if you're going to bet that, if you want to bet the Dodgers, I have different ways to bet the Dodgers later. So
it's better come in 90 seconds though.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. You want a fun prop pick? Pick the starting pitcher of your favorite team left in the playoffs to earn the win that game. Last year, every pitcher who won in game 1 was the starting pitcher for their team. 5 of the 8 starting pitchers in game 1 went over 6 innings last year. That means your odds are really high. So folks don't want to use their bullpens. Bet on a pitcher to get the win. You could even hedge against each other. First time random bets I like. First time winner. Bet yes, plus 185. 3 of the 12 teams in have never won a World Series before. 1 quarter odds is pretty fun. So
yeah,
or you can hit no, I guess. But 2 of those winners, Brewers, best team in baseball, and Mariners are a lot of people's pick, have never won. So if there's ever time for you to get that bet right, now's the time. Winning division. This would be how I bet the Dodgers. Hedge with plus 340 in the NL West. Like,
Sure.
if you think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series, that's better odds than just betting the Dodgers. So, and then you get the Padres added in too. So
Interesting. Okay.
Winning league, I would do AL plus 110 because the NL is better, but they're also going to beat each other up. Lastly, this is my end. I know I'm at time. My favorite to win the series is pick a favorite. I know there's a lot of upsets, like I mentioned, but they all get weeded out at the end. That's what the Dodgers did last year. So my pick would still be the Phillies, plus 425.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. A nuclear attack was commenced against the United States.
Should have known. You can't resist an immediate callback.
When you drop a bomb that hot, I mean, they're going to issue a warning shake.
That's so true. Philly is the one who's going to win. Ready for this, Zach? This is the bet to make. Cleveland to win it. They have the second most playoff experience in the AL. Their odds for them to win it are plus 3,000.
Okay.
They just went 21-7 in the last month.
Okay.
So plus
in
3,000.
In my mind, they're in the AL.
Yeah.
This is a bad thing to say as a sports writer. I think whoever beats the Brewers is in the World Series, and then they lose to whoever. Because this is what happens with Wisconsin sports teams. They get upset. And then we're like, as long as we lost, that stinks. But at least we can lose to the champion of the whole thing, because then it's like we're second best. And then they lose in the championship. A la 49ers, a la a bunch of teams like that. That's how that works. So that's, if we're betting Wisconsin sports trends, that's what I would do for the NL side.
I think that makes sense. Like, or them losing to bitter rival Chicago, like when they've been better than the Cubs all year.
Might be one and the same.
Oh, so true. But those are my bets. That's not necessarily who I think's going to win it. Here's the deal. I really like Seattle. No shot. Dude, I'm just not.
Yeah.
It'd be like if the Browns had a really good year. Let me see it. I just
won't. They're the Blake Bortles Jags.
They've never made the World Series. Everyone's like, they have the best offense and they've pitched really well. We'll see. I don't know. So someone's going to beat them. I just don't know who. But I agree with you. I think if I had to pick, I think it's Phillies, Yankees. But the AL's a crapshoot. So that'd be
how close were the Astros to making it?
Just not very
close.
No, not at all. Not our year, dude. Houston got eliminated on the last day. They got eliminated because Cleveland won on a hit by pitch.
So if one of the teams mysteriously doesn't show up, does that mean the Astros are in?
The sixth call? No, longer than that.
The sixth call? Hey,
on the AL side, maybe they're the sixth call.
I like those odds. Bet the Stros. Never give up.
The Stros are the first
I think
call.
that's their thing.
Stros are call number one. I thought you were still talking about your A's.
No.
A's are call 6. Astros are call number 1. They missed by 1 game.
Bet them. I don't know if any sports book has the balls to put their odds up still, but don't count them out.
I was like desperate. Like, can I not just bet how long a guy's going to pitch? Because you should definitely bet, like, if the line is 6.5, go under.
Go under?
Yeah, 6 was like the limit that folks were letting. One guy last year in the first series, which is when they would let him pitch the most, went more than 6.
A lot of times they'll post that as outs, like pitching outs instead of innings.
That makes sense.
So look for that.
It depends on the line, but it's like, especially if somehow the line's like, I think 6.5 would be where most folks said. A lot of folks are going to get 6. So if it's 5.5, bet over. If it's 6.5, bet under. I think they pull them at 6 pretty traditionally.
Interesting. Okay.
And of course, I don't have to tell real baseball fans like you this, Zach, but for any peasants who happen to be listening, like Trevor Land, do read up in case you find out that a team like who did I just hear was going to do this today? Some teams are not really going to throw starters that long. They're going to do pitching chaos. So, but you can read that ahead of time. Cubs are going to do that after game 1.
Oh, if the Cubs are coming in with pitching chaos, they're destined. Team of destinies.
Yeah. Team. We'll see. I think everyone's doing it. So then no one can. Jake looks intense. That's my bad. Zach is phenomenal. That's better. It's like the time we asked about AI and it gave me all the compliments. It was like,
AI is not a fan of me. I've been saying a lot of thank yous to my AI lately, just trying to get on their good side, win them over a little bit.
It's just crock. But that's our baseball talk, dude. Now, the main event. That's how you make money.
That's how you make money. Sets you up for your week.
Yeah.
Quit your job, whatever. If you were borderline.
The Red Sox do not beat the Yankees.
Yeah, Jake does not think so. Jake likes the Yankees. Now, let's talk about real sports. Let's talk about the NFL.
The Indiana Fever.
So there's a couple things we want to talk about today. So first off, we got to give our 2 storylines. We gotta settle on our 2 storylines for the week. I want to talk about how we fix the NFL overtime, as Randy has perfect timing, because no game should ever end in a tie in any sport, much less real football. Can't do it. So we need to brainstorm some ideas of how to settle the score at the end of the game, what they need to do when time expires. We'll do that, and then we will, as always, spin the wheel and rank the top 10 teams for that given choice. I added a few new things. If you have any suggestions to go on the wheel last second, what you want us to rank NFL teams on, submit them. Nice. Or if you're watching this after the fact, definitely submit them then as well. Jake, do you want to do storylines first, or do you want to solve NFL overtime first?
Let's do overtime in case it doesn't come up in storylines.
Okay. It's going to come up. We can do that. Okay. One and the same. I mean, let's.
Yeah. All right. Let's do storylines. What's your top 2?
Okay. I mean, the tie is essentially the biggest storyline, right?
Yeah.
NFL Sunday ends with a tie. My parentheses was nobody won the Micah Parsons trade. That's what the game was. Who wins Micah Parsons trade? Nobody won. But this is my thing. The longest day in NFL history, I assume. I didn't look it up. I can only assume. Because it started with an international game. Then we have the 2 time slots. Then we have a primetime game. Primetime game goes to distance. All of overtime ends in a tie. It's just the worst day of football of all time. Like, we had such a good buildup. We had such a good NFL Sunday going. Most football of all time. And then it ends in a tie. What a bitter, sour taste in your mouth to end the day. To end essentially week 4. And then we got 2 Monday Night Football games tonight, and they overlap. Not good. Not good. So my biggest storyline is the tie. It just has to be the tie. I think it's the second most or first most points ever recorded in a tie. Also, now home teams were 300-0 when they scored 40 plus points, did not turn over the ball, and were at home, obviously. That record is now 300-0-1. That's terrible. That's a couple storylines in one, but the tie has to be number 1, Jake, right?
I didn't have it, and my only reason for not having it is I feel this way every time there's a tie, and then we forget about it. And so I just think
this one. They were the Super Bowl team. Everyone talked about the Packers are they're going to go undefeated.
Well,
now it's a tie.
I guess that was my thing. Is like my more takeaway from the game, and I didn't know if it was storyline enough, is I think it continues to show that the Packers are like not there. Yeah, they're mid is very fair. But I get it. It was top 3 for me. I just had
primetime tie is different than just a tie, though.
Prime time.
There you go. That could be the title of the show. Who knows?
Well, it's definitely more of a visual joke. I realized that as I said it out loud. That's gonna pop. What do you capitalize? Just TIE?
Mm-hmm. Once everyone really thinks about it, dissects it, they're gonna have a good little chuckle.
They're going wild in the comments right now. I can feel it, right, Randy? But get the people going. But I had 2 in front. I had what I thought was a slam dunk. I thought you might go tie. The other one I thought was fair is I had my Ravens die / is Lamar okay. a big time game against the Chiefs, and it just didn't look close. Like Chiefs are like, to be alive, you must kill someone. That's what it felt like to me. Like the Chiefs couldn't be more alive, and it's because they killed the Ravens.
Yeah, Chiefs are all the way back, and the Ravens are officially dead, according to everybody.
Feels dead. So that was one, especially with the injury add in. Like, what a miserable game for a Super Bowl favorite.
Agreed. They were one of the Super Bowl favorites. I did tweet out immediately following the game for everybody to go and hammer the Ravens to make the playoffs. That is my lock of the century, in my opinion. So I agree that I think the storyline for the week is that the Ravens are dead. I think that's probably the second one. However, let me show you the Ravens schedule. And there is no shot they miss the playoffs, in my opinion. I got it right here. Once it loads. Okay. So Ravens are 1-3, officially dead. They got the Texans and the Rams, 2 tough games. Okay. Let's just say they split. Let's just say they go 2-5. Home against Chicago, at Miami, at Minnesota, at the Browns, home against the Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, at the Bengals, home against New England, at the Packers, at Steelers. Name a game that they are not going to be favored in any of these after the bye. Like, they have this entire run to get healthy, to shore up the defense, to get that figured out. I tweeted that out.
But the vibes are bad.
Vibes are bad. And I did tweet that out before I found out Matabike is out for the rest of the year, which I think is a very big deal on their defensive line.
They're really hurt. I mean, that's the full context, is they're really hurt.
They are. But they are not losing to the Bears, Dolphins. At Minnesota is tough, but I think they beat them. Minnesota's whole thing is they get a pass rush and then they shut down the person. If Lamar is healthy and can run around, it's not going to matter. They're not going to lose to the Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers. And then that second Bengals game, maybe Joe Burrow's back for, but I'm still not picking them to lose that. And then New England at the Derrick Henry at Lambeau in December. No, thank you. And then I assume the last game of the season is going to come down to that, whether they make the playoffs or not. Something like that, So I don't know. I don't think the Ravens are dead. I agree that it's a storyline, one of the biggest storylines this week. But if anyone thinks the Ravens have no shot, I tell you, go look at the Chiefs last year, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or go look at the Ravens last year when we had this exact same conversation, because it happens every year. Quit falling for it. It's not a nuclear bomb. Stop it. It's the 40 Sports Podcast. Relax.
Can I say, though, can I be the sports talk guy for a second?
Sure.
When, if ever, like this, it's a fine line. And I'm not saying you're wrong, because you're usually right on this stuff. And I think you might be right here too. I think it is a fine line of what could ever possibly get John Harbaugh fired. And I think it's a hard part of, like, do you ever fire a good coach? Maybe the answer is no. But if it always happens, if they're never quite as good as they could be, then maybe eventually that straw breaks, They're
not going to fire him in season, but this was their schedule last year.
Man. What if they want to hire Mike McDaniel?
That's true. That's a very good point.
Get a head start.
Yeah, I think they could fire their defensive coordinator, which I think is very valid.
Yeah. And listen, I agree with you. Like, in a vacuum, they're so hurt. They're so hurt. It's not a coach issue. I'm not as worried about the schedule, to your point, as I am like the vibes and the health and what I'm worried about. Mainly the health. But
even still, this week their offense didn't look very good. There's no doubt about that.
Derrick Henry seeing ghosts, man.
When's the last time their offense looked bad?
Besides this year?
When this year?
They've had stretches in every of the last 3 games where it's like the fourth quarters have not been good. And I maybe that's not what you're asking, but it happens more and more. It's a feature, not a bug. But I'm with you.
They've scored 40, 41, and 30. Last week they looked bad. Their offense has been one of the best in the NFL.
I know, man, but they need 50.
They do, and that's why they need to fire their defensive coordinator.
I'm with you. I hear you.
Every D lineman. But this team's going to turn it around and make the playoffs. The Bengals aren't going to beat them in the division. The Browns aren't going to beat them in the division. And are we crowning the Steelers, who are going to go 9-8 or 10-7 if they're lucky?
I was going to say you'd be very disrespectful to the future 10-7 Steelers. I think that's
yeah. I love the Steelers. I hope they go all the way. But do you know, with Kelvin Austin III, who I'm sure you know very well, Jake, and everybody else at home loves, who is their wide receiver 2 now in Pittsburgh? Nobody knows. And you know who it is? Ben Skoranek.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna run the table. Like Ravens are fine.
I think so. I think this hurts my opinion of them as like, I guess I am in my head like comparing them against the Bills and the Chiefs.
Sure.
Agreed. In division, they're gonna make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But so are the Chargers. I just think both
maybe not. Not if
maybe not.
Joe Alt gets hurt worse. Then
that's true. I have a better example. So are the Jags, and it's like playoffs does not mean hope is alive.
I hate Liam Cohen with every ounce of my being. That dude is the cheesiest motherfucker of all. Did you see him after the game?
I just saw the one clip where he was like making a really weird face. I didn't even hear anything he said.
On the field, he waited until a bunch of people came so he could fake getting held back. And then he went to Robert Salah and said, "Keep my name out your fucking mouth." And he kind of had to get separated, but not really. As if Salah wouldn't absolutely give that nerd a swirly for hours on end. He
only talks shit when people are there to hold him back.
He waited. Like he was by Salah, and then he waited for people to come, and then he said it. And then he like dapped up one of his coaches. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
That whole team is bad vibes.
Talk about vibes are off. They need Urban back.
The only thing they got going for them is the vibes are consistent. Do you think that's why Brian Thomas Jr. is a fucking black hole on my fantasy team?
Not just Brian Thomas Jr. is a star not getting used, right? Who's the other star there? Who did we hear about to absolute exhaustion?
He's
Travis Hunter. Have you seen a Travis Hunter highlight yet?
One yesterday. He had a good catch. First one I saw.
Great.
But it's the exception that proves the rule. I literally was like, "Oh, good for Travis." Are they using him now?
No, they're just so bland. I don't understand. They have no riz. They have nothing.
Yeah. So besides the Ravens, I agree with you on the tie. I mean, the tie is the right answer. The one I went with because I thought it was more fun than just tie. I guess I'm protesting the tie. Is dude, Jackson Dart or bust, dog. He's here. He's making plays. And here's why it's a storyline. So lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky. Before you jump in, this is why it's a storyline. Folks, they're doomed. They can't do anything now but play him. This is the only way to save their jobs. And this is it. Like Dart somehow pulls this off and is great. And I guess Dable and Shane somehow coached there and managed there forever, which is kind of hilarious.
They're hoping Mara's caught up in his cancer diagnosis and forgets he owns an NFL team.
Yeah, but I mean,
T's and P's,
prayers, my dude. Yeah, T's and P's. Also, you got to get when you come back to the game. I hope Dart's throwing well for you. It's crazy, dude.
If he gets a Make-A-Wish, he is asking for Saquon back.
He is. How is Joe Shane still there? It's but Dart, it was a big story. He looked good.
I agree.
Neighbors is donezo.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. And they have not yet played any of the defensive lines that people are actually worried about.
This stretch, like I didn't think they were going to put him in yet because the chance of ruining a rookie is so high if he has to go up against like a bunch of buzzsaw defenses. And I'll show you the schedule right now. They somehow lucked into a win while losing Malik Neighbors. So now he gets the Saints, and then he has Eagles, Broncos, Niners, Bears, Packers, Lions, Patriots will be tough at that point. Like without Malik Neighbors, the reason why they celebrated so heavily against the Chargers is that they are just trying to be like, hey, you're good. You're good to go. Everything's fine. Rainbows and butterflies, because they need his confidence at absolute top tier, and they need to keep it there. They're going to have to lie to him week in and week out if they're bad, which they probably will be, because now he doesn't have a go-to receiver. He has very little talent around him. He's going to play a bunch of really good defenses, or he's going to get hit a ton. And the chances of them ruining him for the rest of his career is so high.
No, he's
insane.
full on Justin Fields in. There's no reverse on this Matt Nagy time machine. He's in. Rain or shine. Yep. They have two other quarterbacks who started in the NFL last year.
And they're going to try to trade Russell Wilson.
Yeah. If you were a team, do you think they end up trading Russell, or do they end up trading Jameis?
That's an interesting thing, because I think if I'm a team calling, I think I want Jameis. If I'm the Giants, I want Jameis. So I think they're just going to wait for a team to be so desperate they take Russ.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what that internal conversation is, because I think that's where most are going to start. The price tags better. And some have already done it. There's no world where the Bengals called about Mike White, but not about Jameis Winston. No way. So that probably tells you that they're reluctant in some way to do a big trade right now. But
someone's gonna, like, there's gonna be more injuries that pop up, right? Like, and
might be Jackson Dart.
might be Jackson Dart. True.
Could get killed. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of teams around the league that are very close to needing a quarterback. I think the Panthers could go to Andy Dalton again. The Saints, I think the Saints are going to start Taysom Hill in 2 weeks. But like, there's some teams that are going to call for a quarterback. Falcons seem very unwilling to do anything with Kirk Cousins. So it's going to have to be Russ or Jameis or somebody like that. It's not going to be Kirk Cousins, who might be cooked, actually, when we last saw him. He does not look good anymore at all.
Can't wait for all the people, by the way, to come out criticizing the Saints for doing what they should do and not playing Jalen Milroe yet.
Yeah. Tyler Shook. But yeah.
True. Where's Milroe?
Seattle.
Oh, my bad. Give him a shot.
But he's sitting behind Sam Darnold, who is, you know what? Fine. Do what you got to do.
He's alive. Sorry, Tyler Shook. My bad. Got him confused. But give him a shot.
Yeah. Dude. Why not? Oh, no, we might lose?
Yeah. So different than New York. But yeah, so those are my two. But I do agree with you. I think the two stories are the tie and the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, I think those are the two things everybody's talking about today.
Yeah. That's so true. Jackson Dart's just what comes on 15 minutes into Sports Center. You know, it's like the third thing that comes up. By the way, this rookie's here.
Yeah. And I mean, it's New York market, right? So they have to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and he looked good against a really good team. It's just not an omen of things to come.
Are the Chargers a really good team? Or are they only good against the division because Harbaugh said those are the most important games?
So weird. There's some weird coaching happening.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening in Carolina? I've held it in as long as I could. Are we good? No. Are we terrible? I don't know. Like, what did they do
is there a
last
plan?
week?
I don't know.
What was the bulletin board material last week when they put up 30 unanswered?
That was odd. That seems like a fluke.
They gave it all back this week.
They did. I think they're Andy Dalton's played a couple times now. They might fully switch to that. If so, why? Are they just going to tank for a new quarterback? That's weird. Vegas is weird too. And I respect Vegas coaches, but their coaching decisions so far are weird with Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. It's just been a weirdly coached team. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't really get what's happening there. You already brought up the Titans. I thought that was one that was weirding me out. I don't really understand anything that's happening in Arizona. I'm not going to pretend to. I don't see the vision.
Bad.
And what's the plan? Is he the plan? Like, is this the plan not working?
I think they feel like they're fine with mediocrity. They're just like, well, we kind of committed to him. What are we supposed to do? Our hands are tied. We can't do anything about that. That's what I feel. Like they're not trying to get better. James Conner goes down. They're like, I mean, we can still make games competitive though. It's okay. And no one talks about their head coach either, Jonathan Gannon. Nobody says a thing good or bad about that guy. He's just there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just around. That's so true. No one ever brings him up.
No, yet this isn't me criticizing him. People just don't even acknowledge his existence.
No. Because it's like, okay, we talked about this a little bit last week. Like, what we don't have to go team by team unless you want to, but we don't need to. Like, what percentage of NFL, let's say fan bases, but then we can go teams. Fan bases are like, yeah, this coach nailing it. Like, I feel really good about our coach.
Very, very low. Because even the good teams, who's the best team in the NFL right now? I would say it's between two. It's between Sirianni and Eagles and Bills, right?
Yeah.
And if I don't think either of those fan bases are like, yeah, we got the coach.
No, if the Bills, by the way, yeah, you're so right. If the Bills go out before the championship round this year, there'll be calls for Sean McDermott. Like,
and I think that's fair. And then Eagles fans just hate their head coach of all the time. So like,
yeah,
I think Sirianni's good, but if they don't score 2 touchdowns in the first half next week, he'll get booed.
I just don't. I think you're right. Maybe the answer is that it's nobody, because it's like the Steelers fans aren't really that in on Tomlin. It's Chiefs are in for sure.
Raiders. Raiders happy to be there.
We're all in on Pete Carroll. That's so true.
Broncos for now.
Broncos for now.
Sure. Patriots for sure. 1,000%.
Couldn't love Vrabel more. I don't know if any of the new coaches in new spots are like, besides Pete, are like well accepted. Like
the Jets could go either way tonight, I think, even though they haven't won yet.
And that's the distinction of like, it's a total flip where I'm sure most organizations are like, yeah, this is our dude. I think the Jets still really like Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
As they should probably.
Yeah, but I think so.
What do you think Saints fans think? Do you feel like that experiment's working?
I mean, I think that's the worst coaching staff. One of the worst I've ever seen. So I hope they don't think that's good. I think I just forgot his name.
Cowboys are happy.
What?
Cowboys are happy.
Cowboys are happy. It's the coach we always say is overlooked. We don't know why. The Buccaneers coach.
Oh, Todd Bowles.
Bowles, thank you. I'm doing the exact thing I hate. I can't think of his name.
No, love Todd Bowles. Yeah, but see, that's a good one. Like, do people, like, folks we know are good, but it's like, are Texans fans in on D'Amico? Like, where are we at on some of these guys we know are good?
And Vikings fans know Kevin O'Connell's the dude.
They know. They love him more than anything.
Oh, okay. Lions.
Oh, couldn't be more in. That's so fair. It's other people who are doubting Dan Campbell, not Lions fans. Yeah.
Right. And even that, I think, is he's won them over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But so maybe a quarter of the league is good with their head coach. Maybe.
I think that's fair. Since you brought up the Vikings, can I tell you what my least favorite thing is that we have to be subject to now?
JJ McCarthy on the sideline? Or
that's true.
Else?
Get rid of him. The NFL can't. I won't allow. This is me stepping in. You've gone too far. You can't start trying to convince me that you think Brian Flores is good. Because I know it. We all know it. Do you know how many things I've seen the last week that are like, boy, this Vikings defense, no one's talking about them. How well coached they are. Oh, it's almost like Brian Flores should be fucking coaching somebody. We know, dude. I've seen it on like several social media things where they're like, it's a hidden gem. I don't know if enough fans are talking about this. He's good. You.
You'll get interviews. I can't believe he's back as coordinator. Me neither. You're so right. The amount of times like this guy, he's one of the best coordinators. I'm surprised he was back as a coordinator this year. Did he interview anywhere? Because I don't think he did. I don't think he got the call.
No. Is he ever going to get it anywhere? And everyone's just like, I don't know if people know this, but he's a really good coach. He always was. I was mad when he went to Minnesota. I'm happy that he got a job. I was pissed he went there.
The Steelers could have had him as a defensive coordinator and passed on him. That's how like pushed out of the way he is.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin was like, no.
Yeah, right.
So, and by the way, I said it, but I love that he has a job. He should have a bigger job, but it's just you can't do both things.
And you know who the issue was? Why he's no longer has a job?
Bill Belichick.
The catalyst. Oh no, Tua.
Tua is correct. Oh, we really fixed him, didn't we? That is actually the right answer. I thought you were going to give a nice Bill Belichick shout out when he texted the wrong Brian.
That's still one of the funniest stories of all time. But yeah, Tua is the issue, was the reason why Flores lost his job.
Yeah.
And now what? Are we all, did McDaniel come in and fix him? Did he do what he said? Let's see tonight as he plays a bad team. Let's not overlook the bad team he's playing tonight. And let's see how he does. If he plays well, guess what? He played well against a bad team. And we give him no credit. If he plays badly against a bad team, let's criticize him. We are in the perfect.
Yeah.
Tua's in a no-win situation tonight, which is the best situation to watch Tua. And it's prime time. So anything can happen to Tua in prime time. We know that. We've seen that.
That game is still one of the worst things I've ever seen. Spine game.
It was just a spine injury. Why is everyone
That is
out?
actually, that's the funniest thing that's ever happened in the NFL. Is going, everyone freaked out because it was a head injury. We're here to say, don't worry, upper spine.
I still think we were the only ones that I heard. We're like, what? That's not better. Like, we're exhaling at that. Oh, thank God. It's just his spine.
How did we ever? Sometimes I think about this. Listen, we haven't pushed the NFL enough. This isn't me saying we've cracked the code. How did we ever get the NFL to agree that concussions were bad? I think about it sometimes and I'm like, how did they admit that? Will
Smith. That movie.
Yeah. Mike Webster, martyr for the cause. Maybe.
Maybe. You know what I think the big one was? In my mind, I guess. I might be fully off. I think it was Junior Seau.
It 100% was. I was just thinking that because it was the mental health piece on top of it. Like Webster, this is gross. You're so right because Seau, they're like, well, he was young. Webster, how old was Mike Webster when he died of old age? Like,
right, yeah.
They were like, Mike
age
Webster,
of 54.
Yeah, everyone was like, Mike Webster lived a longer. He was 50. And everyone was like, Mike Webster, natural causes. Wrong.
I mean, naturally that was the cause, I guess. But yeah. So
let's
this
get
is what
into, go ahead.
This is what we're gonna do. We are not gonna solve overtime today. There's only so many things we can do. I know that's the title of the show, but there is one thing we have to do. And Pizza Guy, I'll get to your question in a second, but there's just one thing we have to do. It calls to us, it beckons us, and that is the wheel. We have to spin the wheel, Jake. And we have to rank the top 10 teams based on whatever the wheel lands on. Any last second additions you want me to add to the wheel?
I don't think so. I didn't think of anything for this week. So I think we ride them out. Plus, I want to get to some of the ones on there.
Okay. And I took the ones, I didn't do that last week. So a good thing we didn't spin the same thing. I took the 2 off that we landed on. And now we spin the wheel. We got like a good 20 choices here. We will be ranking the top 10 NFL teams based on best fan base. Okay. Are you ready for this, Jake?
So best fan base. I have a very strong opinion of like 3 of these teams.
How do we want to rank best fan base?
Well, Packers
most loyal fans, or like most like supportive fans, like not talk like Eagles are very diehard, but they suck. You know what I mean? True. Are they one of the best?
Do you have a lean? My thought is like, I guess there are a couple of different ways to slice it.
Right.
I just want to do like, because I know this isn't probably like, this is different than just saying like best, most supportive. But I don't like doing that because then you would just pick the worst teams, because it's like you have to put up with the most. So I think
Sure.
I would do the most fervent. Like when I think of this team, I think of their fans the most. And that's
You're ranking
some of
the
the 100%.
12th man of sort.
Well, I was going to say, and maybe that skews because I'm thinking of like only 3 teams who really stand out. But yeah, I don't know. That would be how I do it, is like the volume of the fan base all the time.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good with that. So we know Packers are on there.
Packers are in. Eagles
Steelers are in.
are somewhere in the
Eagles.
list.
They are.
I think
Are the
Buffalo,
Bills? I think so.
for sure. Seattle's somewhere in the top 10.
I don't think so. Remember, Seattle got destroyed at home by the Packers last year.
That's
like
so
in terms
true.
of fans, they are not what they used to be.
So this is interesting because if we do,
Chiefs are on there.
Chiefs are on there. Yeah,
Broncos
yeah.
are on there.
Hold on. Let me make sure I don't miss any obvious ones before I start speculating. I think all those are on there. Cowboys are on there.
Cowboys are for sure on there. I think Saints have taken a backseat a little bit, but I could be persuaded. I think Vikings are good. I know the Browns are good. They should probably be there.
I think the Browns are in. Like the Browns, my brain goes to the Lions. Like a mix of how much they put up with.
Yeah.
And then,
I'll say I went to a game in Detroit 3-ish years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Packer crowd. It was a Lions crowd. And they were supportive and they weren't like good yet. So I think it's fair.
I like it. I immediately realized that I don't know which one. One of the New York teams probably, huh? Like I'm looking at the New York teams and I'm looking at the Patriots.
Patriots are good, I think. It's hard to tell because they're just coming off of a dynasty, right? But I think they're good.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens are good as well.
Man.
I think it's between these 4.
Yeah.
I think Vikings are included in that. I think it's between these 5.
I don't want to include it in this. I just want to say out loud so people don't forget. I have thought of the Raiders, but you move cities, so that doesn't count. And Falcons just ain't it right now. But like Falcons fans are also crazy. But
they can be. Bears are too toxic. Dolphins are bad. Colts are bad.
Yeah.
Seahawks are bad now. Washington's bad. Saints.
Yeah.
Bengals, no LA team. Niners, I just don't feel like they're as strong.
No one on that bottom shelf. Yeah.
These 5. So we got up there right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'd have to add one more unless you think someone's better than Detroit.
So I think for sure add of the ones that we like talked about as maybes, I'm leaning the most towards the Jets, weirdly.
I think they always show up. They always complain, but I think they always show up.
To me, they're stronger than the Giants fans.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then
it's so hard to compare Lions versus these 3 teams.
What about Denver versus those teams? You went there fast, so I don't want to like discount them. They're huge. I know they're big, but I'm just comparing them to like the Patriots. Yeah.
No matter where you are, like not even in Denver, even when they were bad, they always show up.
And here's the thing with the Patriots. I feel like I'm holding it against them. I'm thinking of Patriots or Lions because it's like the Patriots have been a Tom Brady team for 30 years. So it's like, it's not fair to be like, what about before Tom Brady? It's been 3 decades. So they are what they are, and they're huge. How did they support our friend OJ Mayo though? Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. Yeah. I almost said Pat Mayo, which is a different Mayo on top of that. That's true. I think the Patriots are still good.
Yeah. Ravens are too young. That's my opinion on them versus like the Lions or the Vikings.
Okay. Well, I think that's fair. Vikings have gone through a lot and they're still there. But I don't know if there's very many Vikings fans outside of like our hub right here, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Like, I don't think you'll go anywhere, maybe the Dakotas and stuff, but I just mean like if you go to a road stadium, I don't think Vikings fans really show up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, correct. I mean, and that's what we're talking about, like them versus the Lions. Like the Vikings fans, you're close, okay? I'm not being a hater.
With that logic, do Lions fans show up anywhere except for Detroit and
They
Green
do
Bay?
now, and I don't know if that's fair. Like,
Yeah,
I think Dan Campbell has gotten them
I
extra
don't think
fans.
I don't think they're up there. I think Patriots are better.
That feels better to have the Patriots in. I would agree. They're certainly more national. I mean, if that's the mark, it's them for sure. It's not the Giants, right? I'm just going to ask out loud. I don't think it is, but
Giants are good. They really are, just because being one of those original teams. Like, there's a lot of history there. I think they're a proud fan base, but I just
who
don't
would you
think
knock
they've
off?
been
Yeah,
they've been abused for too long.
I agree. Okay. Now,
Unlike the Browns, who are all rainbows and butterflies.
the Browns would be my 10 pick in this group.
I don't think so. I think you're
You think they're
underestimating.
higher? I mean, they are. I just, who's your 10? I guess that's maybe I shouldn't have started at the bottom.
Probably Patriots. We just put them in last.
I know. We put them in last now, really high on them. Like we've gassed them up. But I agree. Let's put Patriots last for now. I think that's fair.
The best ones are Packers, Steelers.
I mean, I would say the Eagles and Bills by my definition of like, I think of the fans when I think of the team.
Right. I just think they're
Along with that group
crazy.
of four. Yeah.
They're crazy, but they're crazy, not diehard. They're just a crazy group of people. They're diehard, but they're like fair weather diehard.
I also think the teams you've got right now in that top group, Packers, Steelers, are, I think, low key the most national teams in there, except maybe the boys. I was going to ask, do we have the Cowboys in that top group?
Well, here's the thing. The NFL asked the Steelers to be America's team, and they turned it down because of how much they love Pittsburgh. They said, no, we're Pittsburgh's team.
And they didn't want Green Bay to keep a team, so they did not ask us.
Correct. And then Jerry's like, we'll do it, and we'll market them. There's no doubting the Cowboys in what they are. Like, there's Cowboys fans in Wisconsin, right?
No, but I'm with you.
I think
there are more national Chiefs fans than Cowboys fans. I agree. I'm with you.
But there's like Steelers bars everywhere. I think the Steelers could possibly be number one. Steelers and Packers, I think, are undoubtedly number 1 and 2. Whichever order.
That is a fun question. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you were doing, and it wouldn't be the worst way to do this, like most locations that have like bars dedicated to you, I don't think there's any question that it's Green Bay. There's so many empty states that are all Packer states by default.
True. And there's a documentary that's coming out soon. It's getting shown outside of Milwaukee. A YouTuber who I really like from Madison created a documentary about Green Bay Packers fans in Japan that's coming out. Like, they are an international team, and Steelers are an international team too. But that's going to be a really cool documentary. I think it's fair to put Packers at number 1. I really do. And I think a big reason for that as well, honestly, is Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. They were the two biggest, and Rodgers is still playing, but two of the biggest stars on the planet when they were at their peak. And Brett was at the forefront, the peak, when American sports started to go global. We think Michael Jordan in basketball, and Brett Favre was one of those people in football. That's why everyone knows the Packers internationally. It's because of our golden boy.
Arguably his fault. We tied last night. He was there.
I know. I was waiting for the Packers to crash and burn immediately after showing him, and then Packers fans to go off on Brett. But no, people are out on LaFleur and Jordan Love apparently. Welcome.
You're welcome. I'm
fine doing this, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. I think the Packers are just more. I think those two are 1A and 1B. I don't think you're wrong at all. I think there's so many comments about how Packer fans travel. I know Steeler fans do too. We're nitpicking. But
every coast.
well, we're everywhere. None of us stay in the state. We spread out.
True.
We go places. So I think that's a big part of it. I would do that order. I would question Pittsburgh or Philly for 2, but I'm cool with Pittsburgh 2. Okay.
I don't
I'm
think
with
it's
you.
close.
Gotcha. I would go Philly 3 for sure, and then Bills fans.
I think that's fair. And then Dallas is probably a easy 5 or no?
I would have the Chiefs, but I'm up for.
I can't tell what the Chiefs were like a decade ago. I think they were there. I think they were still a good fan base, but
Yeah,
like we forget how little success Dallas has had, and they're still
true.
insanely huge.
Okay, I agree with that. And then I might just put those in the order they're in. My only question is like,
How do we do this again?
we always do this. Patriots, you're out.
Do you want to do that?
Yes, and I would even ask you about Jets above Broncos, but I'm cool with it there.
I can't tell.
They don't have a fireman in Denver.
I'm not sure if they have a fireman. They don't want a fireman in.
They did.
For the
That's
Jets.
true. That's true. He might go to Denver. They
Yeah,
might take him.
honestly, he'll go wherever there's camera time. I can tell you that.
Only one of them has a chant, I remember. Does that count for anything?
That's true. That is true. Broncos fans are a mile high though, and they'll tell you about it every time you ask,
Yeah,
whether you want to know it or not.
we ride.
Broncos fans are diehard though. They really are.
I mean,
think they are.
this is
they're
a
so
great
good.
top 10, and I think there's actually there's a really big divide between these teams. I'd say
Yeah.
2 others and then the rest of the league.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's obviously the LA teams are bad.
Yeah.
Cardinals, a lot of those Florida teams aren't very good.
Yeah. And
Raiders,
there's
yeah.
fans, but
Bears are terrible.
yeah. Colts are a good example. There's some diehard Colts fans. I don't even know how much the city of Indy cares.
Correct. The diehard Colts fans are from Baltimore.
So true. That's why the Ravens can't be on the list.
Mhm.
House divided. I think we've done it again, Zach. I think this is a great top 10.
Did we do it again? That's crazy.
We also
Undefeated.
couldn't count to 10 again.
Pizza Guy says Philly definitely too. I don't think so. I think that's recency bias based on recent success. I think Steelers are insane. There's no way. Steelers got offered America's team and continue to be the most popular team. It's not close. It's not close. I can promise you.
Yeah.
Dare say Pennsylvania is the Steelers state. They're not even number 1 in their state. Can't be number 2.
I hear what we're saying about Philly, but also Philly fans now, I can tell you what Philly fans were 10 years ago, which is no one understood why they cared so much, and they were very
Right.
isolated.
If we're talking about loudest fans, Philly might be up there. And they're still number 3, but if you're talking to a Philly fan.
I don't think people remember how much we disliked them universally before Jason Kelsey.
I mean, yeah. That's
Donovan
fair.
McNabb never did anything wrong, and we still didn't like him.
True. Eagles fans are just assholes. They're like a more aggressive Viking fan. They're just dumb, but then they're aggressive. Vikings fans are just dumb. They argue your weaknesses and then don't mention anything about them. If you argue with a Viking fan and you're a Packer fan, they go, "Oh, how about that Super Bowl loss?" Brother, what are you talking about? How about your Super Bowl win? Oh, whoops, don't got one. Oh, we beat you. Okay, great. When? Week 3 of a regular season? Congrats. Cool.
Let me walk you through championship game, 1964. How about 1965? Eagles fan pizza guy DQ'd. Take it from us, 2 Packer fans.
Yeah. No bias here. We can't be ranking bias with bias, man. What are we talking about? But no, Eagles are great. They're just not
The Steelers.
It's just not. If we zoom out a little bit and we think nationally and we think internationally, I think it's very obvious who 1 and 2 are. I think that, and then I think there's a huge separation. after 1 and 2. I think you could rank Steelers 1. Maybe it's bias. I don't think so though. I think Packers are the most international team.
Yeah. I agree, but also I think it's the Patriots.
International? No.
I just think it's that timetable. I think Brady got all of them.
I would love it if the Patriots were number 1 because I like the thought of everyone rooting for America, an American patriot, but that's just not the case.
I don't know. I agree with you. I mean, we are very international. I had to hear a lot this weekend how the Steelers have claimed the nation of Ireland. So
they're the biggest team in Ireland.
I mean, 100%. But I had to watch a whole montage. CBS was like, Rooney's kid was an ambassador to Ireland, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
Listen, no shade to the Irish fans who are listening to the show. I got you. But I just
we can give them shade. They attacked your boy, and I'll give you.
They also fucking robbed Skylar Thompson, not figuratively, literally.
This is why Skylar Thompson was missing his drink. He was missing his drinking buddy, Jake. Where were you? You needed to be there. He needed you.
I would have watched his pockets like a fucking hawk, dude.
Mm-hmm. No one's coming around.
No.
Did this happen in Manhattan?
You are actually asking a great question. Will Howard, where were you? Home?
True.
Recovering?
True. There's a lot of questions to be. Where was Troy Polamalu? For whatever reason, I feel like he always jumps in to save any Steeler in need out of nowhere.
Here's what I'll say. Skylar Thompson, pretty weak look. Steelers aren't what they used to be. Can you imagine someone pickpocketing James Harrison? I don't think so.
No. They wouldn't live to tell the story.
It is. Here's the thing. You're an NFL star. That's got to be humbling.
Right.
Pickpocketing is a peasant crime. I don't think
he's a big dude, isn't he?
I think he's 6'2", but he looks, he's a pretty boy.
Let's see. Skylar Thompson, 6'2". I mean, Jake knows he's drinking buddy. So you're right.
Zach, we've all got our wheelhouse. This is mine. When we're barstool to barstool, I add him up,
Still, though, it just feels, why him? Why? What was he doing? Why was he alone? He had all the jewelry on.
Just all of it. His own jersey. That's what I was imagining.
It's Ireland. Not to be, not to really.
Dolphins jersey? Like, what's his most famous jersey? K-State? Go Cats.
Probably, right?
Probably.
He wasn't even big at K-State, though.
Hey, we believed a little bit. He's bigger now.
Man, I don't know. It begs the question what he was doing, where he was going. And I don't know. You got to have a buddy. Where's Will Howard? Bad teammate. And that's why he's never going to be the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is what it is. Chris Boswell didn't get robbed. If Chris Boswell doesn't get robbed, you can't get robbed. That's the rule. That's the Rooney rule.
That's
right.
I don't think so. By the way, Rooney should have more rules. He's only got one. Who's ever made one rule that stopped?
It's a pretty good rule, too. I mean, it's not even Fight Club. Well.
Fight Club made up a bullshit second rule just to make sure they did have one.
Yeah, I mean.
Am I right? First rule, we don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule, there are no rules.
Correct.
Even they were like, well, we can't have one.
Right. I mean, at that point, why do we even have a list?
That was the planning meeting. They were like, rule number one, we can't talk about this. We have to keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
Anything else we really care about?
I'm not a rules guy. No rules.
Me neither. So we're not a rules guy, but we have one rule, and we want that one rule.
Yeah, of course. We can't let other people know about this.
Well, then
we can't be restricted by rules.
No. But how do we let them know that while still having rules?
Let's put both on there.
We should have a second rule. Yeah, that second rule says no rules.
Yeah, we know that it just means no other rules. And since we're not going to talk about it, no one else will find out.
Well, 100%. It'd be ridiculous if that was rule one.
Right. We will look foolish. We need to follow rule 1. Cannot express that enough.
Can't talk about it.
And then second rule, no other rules, but we're just going to call it no rules.
Yes, we have to. Yeah, no other rules sounds ridiculous. You're right.
Yes.
Amendment
No
approved.
other rules. Like, okay, that's dumb.
But we have to put it second because otherwise people might not listen to rule number 1.
What about Jimmy? He already tattooed no rules on his bicep. Like that's the coolest tattoo of all time. He lives by the beat of his own drum.
No rules is fine. If he has more ink, he should also tattoo on, except rule 1.
Yes. No rules and don't talk about it.
Terrible marketing scheme. That was, by the way, funniest bit we've ever done.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
people.
We'll go out on that. Not a lot of people are talking about Fight Club on their podcast in 2025.
Don't worry. I think if 2 white guys on the pod don't talk about Fight Club once a month, the world spins off its axis. So here we are.
Mm-hmm. You get a nuclear bomb message randomly in the middle of your podcast. It's crazy.
Pizza guy, I appreciate your comments so much. Here's what I'll say. What do I do about Lamar and Bucky, boys? Bucky, hang in. It's my advice. Stay the course.
Yeah. Has there been any update on Bucky Irving? I know he's getting an MRI today. I don't think so. And they're being very secretive. He's getting an MRI on an undisclosed injury.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do with that, to be honest.
More info.
Sure.
Lamar, he's tentative for next week. Like, he should be back in 2.
Yeah. I mean, they have 2 games and then a bye. So would it be the craziest thing if he's held out 3? No.
Yeah.
And they got Cooper Rush. What else do you need?
Yeah. I mean, what do? Don't trade either of them. Hang on,
Yeah. And then he says Lad McConkey stinks. I mean, I agree. What are you going to do about it? That's what I keep telling people. Okay, great. We've established he's bad. And then second rule, we're not going to talk about it. That's what we got to do. Like, what are you going to do about it? Doesn't matter.
So true.
Fight Club. See you
Fight
next
Club.
week.